Good morning, this is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update for May 20th, 9 a.m. We have Tropical Storm Alberto lingering off the coast of South Carolina this morning, but the good news is that this is expected to not really strengthen very much and head out to sea. Now I say good news because I mentioned in the last Tropical Update video that we've been trying to experiment with some new mapping at Hurricane City, and this is the new GIS map layout that you're going to see throughout the season. And what this does is it takes all the model data from all the different sources out there. There's hundreds and hundreds of models, and we display the 5 best performing models, red being the best performer, aqua being the 5th best performer, and these are again out of hundreds of models. So the map is operational. We're still working out some bugs. It's not always going to be perfect. There's different maps I want to show you, so this is going to be kind of a long tropical update video. But first of all and foremost, you can zoom right in on these maps. Just roll your mouse forward and zoom right in on the models, and then this way you can get a nice close-up detailed view of them as they sit right there off the coast of the United States. And you see the best performing model here. For example, you can click on the red line and this will give you the information. This is the BAM shallow. Now the BAM beta and advection model, this is the shallow model, which is good for weaker systems, which is what we have out there. That's why this is the best performing model. And then our second best performing model is the NGPI, which is the purple model here that takes it over land. All the other models take it out over the ocean, but this is the NGPI model, the Navy Operational No Gaps model. And that's the one that's taking it in on. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see if that shifts and gets in line with the other models out there. The third one is not displaying this morning. The fourth one is the TVCN, the yellow model up here. You click on that, and again, that gives you more of the details. The TVCN model is the various consensus model. It shows the AVN, the GHMI, the no gaps, the UK Met. It blends them all together as a consensus model. And then finally, we have the Aqua model, which is number 5 up here, and that is the TVCC model, which is a corrected model of basically the CVCN, the one I just showed you. It's basically corrected. Now, if you want to know what these models mean, there is a list here right above the hurricane tracking chart. You click on model list, and it will show you the whole list of all the models. There it is. You can scroll through all the models and what they mean, and learn about all the models that are available out there that can show up on this map. So it's really a lot of fun to be able to play with this map and all the models that are out there. Now, another thing I wanted to show you about this map is the fact that it can load with different color backgrounds. Let me get it centered on the screen here again. And what you'll notice is the color scheme can be changed by using this base map link right above the map. For example, if I wanted to see titles and names of cities, I can just click on imagery with labels, and there we go. And the more you zoom in on this map, the more information that comes available, the more cities that become available. If you don't like the color, just change it to a gray canvas. You click on gray, and of course there it turns to gray. Or you can choose an ocean layer right here, and it turns it to light blue in the background. But it's really a neat feature because you can zoom right in on these. Now let's go ahead and look at the sea surface temperatures. This is a really neat one as well. You click on sea surface temperatures, and you might think, okay, well, I can't really see very much because there's so many colors on this map, and the models, I really can't even see the models because all the colors in the background. But let's zoom in on this. And when we zoom into practically street level here, you'll see how clear the sea surface temperatures become right underneath the models. And this will help you to see whether the system is heading into colder waters, whether the models think it's going to head into cooler waters or warmer waters. And of course there's a scale on this as well that tells you in Fahrenheit. But the more you zoom in, you can see the more detailed the map becomes, and you can see it gets into water temperatures well into the 60s later in the period, which would become extratropical at that time and non-factor. But the sea surface temperature map is really cool. Now here's another one that we have, and that is the Satellite Radar Advisory Overlay. And what this does is it gives you the satellite and radar panned out, but when you zoom in on this map, it really gives you some fine details such as sea surface temperatures, pressures at the surface. So let's zoom in on it. Let's go ahead and take a close look at Alberto and see what's happening right around Alberto. And course, it always helps to have a little bit of processing speed on your computer if you're going to use these maps, because they are pretty labor intensive on your computer. But it is well worth using these maps because you can get so much information about what's going on with the current system out there. It's unbelievable. All right, here we are zoomed in on our tropical storm Alberto, and what we're going to see here are temperatures and pressures right around the center of tropical storm Alberto. Let's get right in on it here, and there's the radar overlay, and you can see we have surface temperatures around 75 degrees and pressures around 10-15 millibars right around where the center of Alberto is. So it's in a high pressure environment, not really conducive for much strengthening. And of course there you see the models and everything. So really a lot of fun. Of course we have the Storm Center satellite where you can see the satellite in animation in motion for the system lingering right off the coast. And it'll just take a second to load here with the Java. You have to have Java enabled on your computer to see this, and it's the Storm Center satellite showing the position of Tropical Storm Alberto lingering right off the South Carolina coast with the animation color-coded, and it's a pretty good tool to use here to see if the system is actually developing or not. Of course, it's there we go. There's the animation loading, and it fits the screen perfect. Now, a lot of people out there are big fans of the European model, the ECMWF European model, and this model is not going to, there may be variations of it that will be displayed on the 5 best performing models on the GIS map, but the European animated model can be found right here to the left of the tracking chart. We have the map right here, the ECMWF animation, and you can always click to get back to the old main map that we used to use last year at Hurricane City. Off here to the lower left-hand corner of the screen, there's the ECMWF animation map. So let's take a look at that. We click on the ECMWF animation, and it fits perfectly in the frame in the center of the site, so you can get the latest feelings on what the European model, which is probably the best model out there for tracking storms. And so you always want to check this model, even though it may not be displayed in our top 5 best performing models. This will give you the animation over the next 10 days of what the European model is thinking. So this is a great tool at Hurricane City. Now, of course, as usual at Hurricane City, the featured city, Georgetown, South Carolina, right here to the left of the map, gives you the display of all the current features on the current featured city, which is Georgetown, South Carolina. And for example, when you go to this, when you click on that link, you'll get this page pop up on the screen. Now, this is the current conditions from the nearest position in Georgetown, South Carolina, from the National Estuary Research Reserve System. They're showing pressures around 10-15 millibars on land. Very little rain, very little wind. So right now they're not getting that bad of weather on the coast. But again, you can use these navigation bars to the left over here, and you can see all of the I'm having trouble with the pen here. You can see all of the links over here that are accessible to Georgetown, South Carolina, one of them being the top one, which is the local radar. You click on the local radar and it gives you the latest animation of our tropical storm Alberto lingering right off the coast. Down there at the bottom of the screen, not looking too healthy this morning. Actually, the system might be weakening a little bit. But the newest feature we have are power outages in the area. You click on power outages, and it will show you the latest amount of power outages in and around South Carolina, which is a real nice feature from Santee Cooper Power here, showing you the amount of power. Right now we have no power outages along the coast in South Carolina, so this is a real neat tool to use at Hurricane City for the latest information going on. Now, with all that said, now you can go ahead and enjoy yourself at Hurricane City. If for any reason you load Hurricane City and you get a real tiny map up on the screen, just click on Best Performing Models right below the main map here, and the Best Performing Model map will once again pop up on the screen for you. You shouldn't have it. Every once in a while it's a little buggy. Sometimes the system loads, the site loads and that map is a little bit small, and then you just click on Best Performing and it'll pop back up again. Alright, so that's about it for the front page updates. Also wanted to mention the thumbnails are all still available from last year. Down here you can get all the latest models, mouse over models, wind fields, cone of error, everything. And then down here you have the advisory box. You can get the Alberto advisory, you can get the Alberto discussion just by clicking. It opens in the same box, and basin discussion, etc. Everything loads right in the same frame. So you're going to enjoy Hurricane City this year. We keep adding new things. Chris from TropicAtlantic.com has done an amazing job writing the scripts for the models and helping build some of the stuff at Hurricane City and redesigning some of the pages. So there's a lot of information available this year. All right, now let's take a look quickly here at the HurTrack program and see the animation of what's going to happen with Alberto over the next few days. The system's going to linger off the South Carolina coast, and then quickly it's going to shoot off to the northeast, clipping the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We may switch to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina as the featured city, and the system should become extratropical and linger off the northeast coast. A couple models want to take it inland in the northeast, but that would be after it becomes an extratropical system. One more thing I wanted to show you on the maps down here is, speaking of the featured city, when you zoom in on the maps, there's a little red target sign, and that's our current featured city. You can also get the current featured city by clicking on that little target symbol right there in Georgetown. You see it right there. Up on the map, you see the target symbol right there, and you click on that, and then a window pops up that says current feature Georgetown, South Carolina, and then of course you click on it, it takes you to the page I just showed you with all the links on it. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll keep track of Alberto, but it really is not going to be much of a concern for anybody that's going to move out to sea. Enjoy all the new bells and whistles at Hurricane City. And one more reminder, June 1st, Hurricane Season Kickoff Show. I'll be up in Virginia Beach at Bill Phillips' place up there, and we'll be doing the show up there, and I'll release my top 20 cities and islands I think are going to be affected during the 2012 season. There's one area in particular that I'm very concerned about this year. You'll have to tune in for that. And I'll be live in Bill's studio up in Virginia Beach, Virginia on June 1st, so mark your calendars for that. Email me, Jim at Hurricane City, if you have any questions about the new map, or if you're having issues with it or any questions, I'd be glad to answer them for you. That's it for now. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.